Midnight. Chapter 5. Brambleclaw stalked stiff-legged across the clearing until he stood face to face with the apprentice. "Just what do you think you're doing here?" he hissed. "Hi, Brambleclaw." Squirrelpaw tried to sound calm, but her sparkling eyes betrayed her excitement. "I couldn't sleep, and I saw you leaving, so I've been following you." She gave a little purr of delight. "I was good, wasn't I? You never knew I was there, all the way through the forest." That was true, though Brambleclaw would have died rather than tell her that he was impressed. Instead, he let out a low growl. For 2 mouse tails, he felt like springing at the ginger she-cat to claw the smug expression off her face. "Why can't you mind your own business?" The she-cat narrowed her eyes. "It's any cat's business when a clown warrior sneaks out of camp at night." "I wasn't sneaking," Brambleclaw protested guiltily. "Oh, no?" Squirrelpaw sounded scornful. "You leave camp, come straight up here to Four Trees, and sit waiting for ages, looking like you expect every warrior in the forest to jump out at you. Don't tell me that you're just enjoying the beautiful night." "I don't have to tell you anything." Brambleclaw heard his voice grow desperate. All he wanted was to get rid of this annoying apprentice before any cats from other clans arrived. She hadn't mentioned the dream, which meant she couldn't have had it as well, so she had no right to be here and find out the next part of the prophecy, if that was what was really going to happen. "This has got nothing to do with you, Squirrelpaw. Why don't you just go home?" "No." Squirrelpaw sat down and curled her tail around her front paws, glaring at Brambleclaw with wide green eyes. "I'm not leaving until I find out what's going on." Brambleclaw let out a snarl of sheer frustration, only to jump when a voice growled behind him. "What's she doing here?" It was Tawny Pelt, slipping out from behind the great rock. She padded across the clearing, narrowed her eyes She padded across the clearing and narrowed her eyes at Squirrelpaw. "I thought we weren't going to tell any other cats." Brambleclaw felt his fur prickle. "I didn't tell her. She saw me leaving and followed." "And it's a good thing I did." Squirrelpaw stood up and met Tawny Pelt's gaze, her ears flat against her head. "You creep out at night and come up here to meet a Shadow Clan warrior? What's Firestar going to think about that when I tell him?" Brambleclaw's belly lurched uncomfortably. Perhaps he ought to have told Firestar about the dream right from the start, but it was too late now. "Listen," he meowed urgently. "Tawny Pelt isn't just a Shadow Clan warrior. She's my sister. You know that as well as any cat. We're not plotting anything." "Then why all the secrecy?" Squirrelpaw demanded. Brambleclaw was searching for a reply when Tawny Pelt interrupted, flicking her tail towards the slope. "Look!" Brambleclaw caught a glimpse of something grey moving among the bushes, and a heartbeat later Feathertail and Stormfur stepped into the clearing. They glanced around warily, but as soon as Feathertail spotted the other cats, she raced across the clearing towards them. "I was right!" she exclaimed, skidding to a halt in front of Brambleclaw and the 2 she-cats. Her eyes widened, beginning to look puzzled and a little daunted. "Did you have the dream as well? Is it the 4 of us?" "Tawny Pelt and I had it," Brambleclaw replied, at the same moment as Squirrelpaw asked, "What dream?" "The dream from StarClan, telling us there's trouble ahead." Feathertail sounded more uncertain still, and her gaze flicked tensely from cat to cat. "You both had the dream?" Brambleclaw asked, glancing at Stormfur as the River Clan warrior caught up with his sister. Stormfur shook his head. "No, only Feathertail." "It scared me so much," Feathertail confessed. "I couldn't eat or sleep for thinking about it. Stormfur knew something was wrong, and he pestered me so much that I told him what I dreamed. We decided that I should come to Four Trees tonight, at the new moon. Stormfur wouldn't let me come by myself." She gave her brother's ear a friendly lick. He didn't want me to be in danger, but I'm not, am I? I mean, we all know each other." "Don't be so quick to trust every cat," Stormfur growled. "I don't like meeting cats from other clans in secret like this. It's not what the warrior code tells us." "But we have each had a message from StarClan telling us to come," Tawny Pelt pointed out. "Blue Star visited Brambleclaw, and Night Star came to me." "I saw Oakheart," Feathertail meowed. "He said great trouble was coming to the forest, and I would have to meet with 3 other cats at the new moon to hear what midnight tells us." "I was told that too," Tawny Pelt confirmed. With a twitch of her ears at Stormfur, she added, "I don't like it much either, but we should wait and see what StarClan want." "At midnight, I suppose," Stormfur meowed, glancing up at the stars. It must be nearly dead now. Brambleclaw's heart sank as he noticed Squirrelpaw's eyes getting wider and wider. "You mean that StarClan told all of you to meet here?" the young she-cat burst out. "And they say there's trouble coming? What kind of trouble?" "We don't know," Feathertail replied. "At least, Oakheart didn't tell me." She trailed off, looking flustered, but Brambleclaw and Tawnypelt shook their heads to show their dream cats hadn't shared this with them either. Stormfur's eyes narrowed. "Your clanmate hasn't had the dream," he meowed to Brambleclaw. "What's she doing here?" "You didn't have it either." Squirrelpaw wasn't afraid to stand up to the Wherever Clan warrior. "I've as much right to be here as you." "Except I didn't invite you," Brambleclaw growled. "Chase her off then," Tawnypelt suggested. "I'll help." Squirrelpaw took a step closer to the Shadow Clan warrior, her fur fluffed out and her tail bristling. "Just lay one paw on me." Brambleclaw sighed. "If we chase her off now, she'll go straight to Firestar," he meowed. "She's heard pretty much everything, so she might as well stay." Squirrelpaw gave a disdainful sniff and sat down again. She drew her tongue down her paw and calmly began to wash her face. "Honestly, Brambleclaw," Tawnypelt growled, "you should have been more careful, letting an apprentice track you." "What's going on?" A new voice came from behind them, high-pitched and aggressive. "This can't be right. Deadfoot said there were only supposed to be 4 of us." Brambleclaw jumped and looked around. His eyes narrowed into a furious glare as he recognised the cat with smoky grey-black fur, lean limbs, and a small, neat head. "You!" he spat. Standing a couple of fox lengths away was the Wing Clan apprentice, Crowpaw, who had trespassed on ThunderClan territory and stolen a vole. "Yes, me," he retorted, his fur bristling as if at any moment he might spring and finish off the fight. Tawnypelt pricked her ears. "This is a Wing Clan cat, right?" She looked Crowpaw up and down dismissively. "Undersized specimen, isn't he?" "He's an apprentice," Brambleclaw explained, as Crowpaw drew his lips back in a snarl. "His name's Crowpaw." He glanced at Squirrelpaw, willing her to keep silent about the incident with the vole. He wanted Wind Clan brought to justice over the prey stealing, but properly, at a gathering, not by provoking a fight here. After all, what they were doing here was already a long way outside of the warrior code. Squirrelpaw twitched the top of her tail, but to Brambleclaw's relief she said nothing. "You had the dream too?" Feathertail asked. Brambleclaw saw the anxiety begin to fade from her blue eyes, as if she were drawing courage from a growing certainty that the dreams were true. Crowpaw gave her a curt nod. "I spoke with our old deputy, Deadfoot," he meowed. "He told me to meet the other 3 cats here at the new moon." "That's 1 cat from each clan," replied Feathertail. "We're all here." "Now we just have to wait for midnight," Brambleclaw added. "Do you know what this is about?" Crowpaw turned his back on Brambleclaw and appealed directly to Feathertail. "If it were me," Squirrelpaw meowed, before Feathertail could reply, "I'd be a bit less quick to believe in these dreams. If there was really trouble on his way, do you think StarClan would come to you first, before the clan leaders or Medicine Cat?" "Then how do you explain it?" Brambleclaw asked, all the more defensive because he had felt exactly the same doubts that Squirrelpaw was voicing now. "Why else would we all have had the same dream?" "Maybe you've all been stuffing yourself with too much fresh kill?" Squirrelpaw suggested. Crowpaw whipped around with an angry hiss. "Who asked you, anyway?" he demanded. "I can say what I like," Squirrelpaw shot back at him. "I don't need your permission. You're not even a warrior." "Nor are you," the grey-black cat snapped. "What are you doing here, anyway? You didn't have the dream. No cat wants you here."